working this time. Yes, sir. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Happy Sunday out there. It is a late edition of the BS with Hannas show. What's up? Welcome to it. I am. Do I got audio? Show. What's up? Welcome to it. I am. Do I got audio? Show. What's up? Welcome to it. I am. All right. I got audio in the metaverse out here. Just had to check every now and then. I'll start this, and the audio just doesn't work. I don't know if it's my unit or my mic or what the fuck's going on. But it's annoying because I kind of have my little process and I'm ready. I'm like, all right, time to go live. And now I got to check it. There's been a couple times I've sent this out and I'm like, not 15, but 3 or 4 minutes. I'll do the whole fucking episode or whatever, unless I got someone loyal in the chat. And they're like, "Yep, can't hear you." So I got to check it first. In any event, this one is titled slightly differently. This is Buenas Tardes. Hannas. I am Hannas, Nicky Hannas, heavy blues metal. You just heard some of it. To hear it better, NickyBehannas.com, NickyBehannas.bandcamp.com, Nicky Behannas on all streaming services. This is the BS with Hannas show, the Buenas Tardes, good afternoon edition on this fine Sunday. You can find it on YouTube, BS with Hannas, or on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon and Audible, iHeartRadio, whatever else. It's a late one today because I woke up and I did all my morning shit up to this point. I still got to go lift. Putting that off. I don't like going to the gym at 2:30, 2:40 in the afternoon or whatever, but, gonna get it in. But I had to, mow my lawn and shit before it starts raining. Had to clean up my garage so it don't look like a fucking dump. Clean up all the doorways and shit, tending to my business. Get some laundry done and shit. I got 1 day a week off. I got to make sure I get all my stuff done so I don't fucking have a disheveled existence throughout the rest of my work week. Living dirty. This is Jordan Peterson, motherfucking 101. Back when he was cool. Clean your fucking bed. Clean your room. Clean your house before you judge the fucking world. And whatever you think of that dude as he works for the Daily Wire. Whatever. What'd you say, EMP? You know how that goes, bro. Don't even fucking sweat it. I ought not expect from other people what is silly to expect from them. Dogs are going to bark. Cats are going to fucking run away. Birds are going to chirp. That's just how it goes, brother. I'll take it on myself to tend to the fucking crib. Because back when I had excellent roommates who were very diligent and dutiful in maintaining the property and the premises, I would usually fuck off and go drink and smoke weed or something and watch them tend to the fucking place. So this is all part of just paying the tax on that, dude. Serves me right. But, it's all good. Got all that shit done. I enjoy doing it. Last week I was mowing the lawn and the neighbor's like, yo, Nicky, you look super happy out there just mowing away. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm listening to a podcast about the Nephilim and the flood and fucking Anunnaki and shit. Like, this is my happy place. I'm not at work. I'm not stressed out. No one's bothering me. I'm just chilling. So that's been my day so far. Then took my nice walk, did my morning readings and shit. And this is the Sunday. Good afternoon with me, Nicky Hannas. This whole thing is meant to, I enjoy doing this. This is like the 13th episode of doing it daily, doing it in the morning before I go about my business for the day. It's a much more sustainable format. I'm finding I'm starting to kind of get over that hump of what do I do? So now it's like, this is fun. Like I'm looking at my daily readings and it's like, yeah, this will be cool. This ties in with this. This ties in with that. I touched on that the other day, step by step, man. We building it. We out here chilling. I got to go do fucking second leg day today, though. Chest day yesterday was great. I fucking hit a nice clean 300 bench press for a single rep. That's right about where I hover. The 3 plates on either side shit. Like, I'm not quite there yet. I don't know if it's form or nutrition or training protocol or rest or caloric intake. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm just hovering right around the 300. So on the good sessions when I can fucking send that full even 300 up there, that's a good feeling. And then I tried to do a fucking 305 thinking I had it. I wasn't quite audacious enough to try the 315 right after that. And I fucking got it up and I'm like stuck like 80% up. I'm just stuck with it. And I fucking, for like a good 20 seconds. I don't, I go pretty hard when I work out. I put a lot of effort out there and, I fucking train pretty tough. But it's rare that I'm at like 95, 96% of full fucking capacity. And I'm hovering there with that fucking weight in my arms. And it fucking tilted a little bit. And whole left side of it just dumps onto the fucking ground. Now I don't feel like too much of an asshole because like that happens and there was no one there. If there was someone there, I would have put the clip on the barbell and shit. And I have the rack set up, so I'm not gonna kill myself on the fucking bench press. But I'm just like, fuck, so close. So fucking close. But that's all right. There was this big ass dude in the gym yesterday who I've always seen around, but he's usually got headphones in and this guy's arms are like the size of my torso, like this big black fucking like you could tell he looks like an old football player or something, like just this big mass of a fucking guy making a lot of noise. He got the straps, he got the fucking belts and knee wraps and all that shit. He's a big, and as it turns out, he's a former powerlifting coach. So that makes sense. And he was telling me that he was in a car accident not that long ago. Someone rear-ended him. So he's like still recovering from that. And he goes from doing like big ass hamstring curls and leg extensions to the fucking deadlift platform. Just racks up 500. He's like, yo, my man, you mind if you want to film this set for me? Yeah, no problem, dude. Once upon a time, I would have had a hater episode of being like, why do you got to film your workouts? Why don't you just focus on what you're doing? That's a corny, limited, pussy boy way of looking at things. Let people film their fucking workouts. My man just as I'm filming him, he ripped a set of fucking 6 or 7 reps clean at 500 on the deadlift. Man, that's a fucking hard motion too. I get to like 450 on a deadlift and I start getting scared and I'm like hesitant to fucking keep putting weight on there and shit. My brain starts living in my lower back. I'm just like fucking shook of it. I'm like, yeah, man, no problem. And then I dump the 305. And that's all fucking good, dude. And I'll tell you what, with that level of exertion, bro, I got off the bench and looked in the mirror, the fucking blood flow. My eyes, it looked like I just smoked a joint to the face. And I could like feel that fucking pressure behind my eyeballs. Rarely have I put that much effort out. So that fucking felt good, dude. Then we get to talking and he's like, yeah, man, by the way, you still up at that burger showing up there? Love your burgers. I'm like, here we go. Talking about work in the gym, and it's all good. I'm glad you love my burgers, dude. Come through anytime. I'll fucking take care of you, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, man, I wish I could hit that 500. I ain't got that high yet. And he goes, man, look at how you think you're doing in averages. I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't really concern myself too much with the averages. And he's like, think of the people that come into your shop, dude. Like, think of your customers. Are you better off or worse off than them? And my first response without even thinking, I'm like, dude, don't get me started because it ain't really my fucking business. I ought not concern myself with standards of burger shop clientele. Not hating on my customers per se, but why is there a trope that exists in the common shared imagination of your average McDonald's customer or Walmart customer or general American consumer out there grazing on the pastures of hyper industrialized late stage capitalism? I'm just fucking saying they're not they're not sending their best. So like I'm not concerned with them. Yeah, I'm sure the average person can't fucking squat 225. I'm sure they can't bench 200. But we're in the gym now, so like I don't know. If I'm going to concern myself with comparison and play the comparison game, I ought to look upwards. Like my man Butterball, who's slinging fucking 350 pounds off his chest. Like my man EMP, who's hitting the fucking 300 pretty clean and easy and often. I want that motherfucking shit. But I digress. It's just that kind of stuck out to me. There's no real comparing myself to the layman on the street. Motherfuckers out here don't even lift. And they probably think about people who take pride in their lifting as if they're projecting some sense of fragile masculinity out there and it's just a compensation. Shut the fuck up with that shit. Get in the gym and sling some fucking heavy weights. But anyway, that was yesterday. Today, got to go fucking pump them quads up. Do some hamstrings maybe. Just got to get in and get after it. That's a non-negotiable. Like I say often, I want to be that kind of dude who's fucking lifting. I go to the gym every fucking day, even if I'm tired as shit and would rather enjoy this rainy day at home and lay low. I can do that later. Let's get business handled first. That's one of the only real pearls of wisdom I've picked up in my life is handle business first always. Try to at least. You keep putting shit off, you're gonna fucking play yourself. And I played myself a long time out here. But that's that. My morning readings, daily readings, I guess today, since I wasn't really reading in the morning, I was out mowing my lawn. What was I reading? So in my Norman Vincent Peale book, you can if you think you can. He recollected a story of when he was, I guess, giving a speech with President Eisenhower, Dwight D. Eisenhower, whose nickname was Ike. I never knew that. Ike Eisenhower. It's a fucking cool name. And Eisenhower was recalling a time when he was young about playing cards with his brother and his mother. And the moral of the story is one of those things, playing the hand you're dealt. Because as a young kid, he felt his mother gave him intentionally the worst hand possible for the game. And I'm fucking reading this and I'm thinking Lemmy's voice comes in my head right away. You win some, lose some. It's all the same to me. The only card you need is the ace of spades, and you don't always fucking get it. So you got to do it. Then I'm reading Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. This was interesting to me. My daily readings are, again, they're all pretty similar. It's all in that same vein of like, motivational stuff, self-help stuff, whatever. But like, I like pulling little things out of it because there's a fucking cool web of like cross-referencing just from stuff I've consumed in my whole life. And this one today from Don't Sweat the Small Stuff was the practice, like, it's useful to practice being bored. Now, when I was a kid, and I would say, Mom, I'm bored. She would just yell, like, go do something. Stop being useless. I would say, Dad, I'm bored. He'd find something for me to do that I didn't want to do. So I'd go about being bored. Now, this book isn't counterintuitive to that, where it's saying that practice being bored to get you in a state of self-reflection so you're not preoccupied or anxious or this or that about something that needs to be there. Yeah, I don't know. The practice of being bored. He says in the book, forget his name, Carlson, I think was the author. I forget exactly his name. I'm pretty sure it was something, Dr. something Carlson. Are we human doings or human beings? Why can't we just be? Why can't we just sit and be? That's true. But even just sitting and being and like staring at a wall, that's not the same as meditation. That's not the same as reflection. That's not the same as prayer. That's not the same as visualization. Like, but maybe I just need to fucking practice being bored and stop being so fixated on things. It's possible. It's very possible. But I don't know. That's one of those things where I don't have a clear response or clear reaction to. But it's just, maybe that's something I should ponder. The utility of being bored. Because I do tend to be the kind of person where it's like, if you're bored, you're fucking stupid. What are you just sitting around bored for? What a waste. But what do I know? And that kind of lined up with what I read in one of the other books today, in the Martin Meadows book, 365 Days with Self-Discipline, where he more or less was saying that always be aware of options. It's better to have options. My first response to, if someone says it's better to have options, my first response is, yeah, no shit. Thanks for the astounding insight in that. Options equals freedom. Now, how do we get to the point of having options? To put that out as a good thing, like it's better to have options, that implies staying away from binary black or white, this or that thinking, which is true, but there's nuance here. I think, one of his quotes is black or white thinking is mental laziness. Yeah, possibly, but not always. Because my first reaction to that is like, or is it? Options are freedom, but how does one obtain freedom without grit of no options and non-negotiable action? For me, example, I have the option to fuck off and not go to the gym. I have the option to fucking do whatever the fuck I want today. I'm off. I can go to the bar if I want to. I can go drink if I want to. I can go score some weed if I want to. Like, whatever. There's no shortage of things that I can go do. But is it mental laziness to say, no, I have to go do this? This is something I want to do, something I value, and I have to go fucking do. This is non-negotiable. So it's one of those things with, like, I guess it's speaking in generalities, in this realm of reading and literature and culture, whatever, when people fucking talk about self-discipline, particularly self-discipline and productivity and mindset, grind set, whatever, you know, it's all, most of these people are speaking in generalities. So of course there's nuance. Of course you should avoid black or white thinking, but do it with discretion is what I would say. And my discretion says, go lift. Don't be soft. But if you need a day off, take it. Like, I'm not a fucking doctor or physical therapist or something. Don't hurt your motherfucking selves. And I talk all this shit. Watch, I'm gonna hurt myself one day. Just kidding. That's a joke. Please don't fucking send bodily injury to me. Then, as I'm reading anyway, let's keep going down my daily readings. They were all pretty good today. In the Daily Stoic, he brings up what was the quote? I got that one right here. Let me check that out. Like, ooh, shit. Check this one out. Now I can get off my phone notes. Thanks all for hanging out. Someone's in the chat. EMP, if that's you, you are the realest of the motherfucking real. Yeah, today's section in the Daily Stoic was Brick by Boring Brick. It's Marcus Aurelius. The great Marcus Aurelius. Although sometimes I question his greatness sometimes. Just because he's paraded and heralded as the king of the Stoics. You know, I'm pretty sure his wife, like, banged a gladiator. So I think he had the gladiator killed. Might not be a good time to be so stoic then, Marcus, but I digress. Thank you for your thank you for your works. It says you must build up your life action by action and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible. And no one can keep you from this. Yep. And then Ryan Holiday brings up the coach Nick Saban and talks about, the process and being in the Philly area and in this with the 76ers a couple years ago where that was the big thing. Trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. Now, I think the Sixers still suck, but I'm not a basketball guy anyway, so I know nothing about that. But I didn't know trust the process, as Ryan Holiday in here writes it, stylizes it as a proper noun. The process, capital T, capital P. I like that, and I find myself in that all the time. And the gist there is that, if you say you're a football player, worry about what's in front of you because a single play will last 3 seconds. In NFL seconds, who knows how long that actually is, but the principle is you have a play that lasts a few seconds. You have a run that lasts a few downs. You have downs that make up a quarter. You have quarters that make up a game. Games that make up a season. Seasons that make up championships. And if you're fucking in this stress cycle of worrying about the championship when you're not worried about your play, you're looking at the fucking forest instead of the tree in front of you. And it's real easy sometimes on the inverse of that to look at the fucking tree in front of you instead of whatever. Like these things, it's super interesting to me. I think it's good to consume this stuff as I begin my day on the daily, because eventually, you internalize it. This could have been the first time someone reads this. That can be life-changing shit. I've been swimming in this pool for quite a while now. So it's all like, yeah, okay. Okay, right on. Yeah, that makes sense. But just like nutrition, you don't always want to eat fucking grilled chicken and broccoli or beef and rice. But it's what builds muscle. It's what keeps you lean. It's what keeps you fucking healthy, generally speaking. Well, that's not what keeps you healthy. It's bad for you. Whatever. Generalities and shit. Trapping myself in my own cycles that I'm fucking critiquing. But, fucking A. Ryan Holiday ends his little commentary with, if you follow the process in your life, assembling the right actions in the right order, one right after another, you too will do well. Not only that, you will be better equipped to make quick work of the obstacles along that path. You'll be too busy putting one foot in front of the next to even notice the obstacles were there. And that's true. That is very, very true. Which led me to my motherfucking John Maxwell reader today. This is the last thing I got. I'm getting too close to 20 minutes. This was your attitude. It's titled A Great Attitude is Your Greatest Asset, which again is pretty much a no shit to people who are privy to this stuff and who think about this on like a deeper level than shallow surface level. Or maybe my fucking problem is that I think about things too damn much, constantly stuck in a hamster wheel of fucking metacognition. And I got to break things down and dissect things and be a contrarian or, what did Dr. Dream call me? Call me a schizo? I don't think I'm a schizo, but I like to think. I like to think about thinking. I like to philosophize. Make your attitude your greatest asset today. And that's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious until, but everyone's got a good attitude till you have to be aware of your attitude. I was talking with someone last night, a friend of mine who always supported the band, and she owns her own business now. And, we were just chopping it up about business stuff, and one of the things she had expressed to me is that in her dealings going from working for someone, in this case, a bartender for a long time, and then opening up your own shop and relying on customers. And one thing we were talking about is setting boundaries and being able to really call your own shots. And within that, Now, I'm not an entrepreneur, but I listen to a lot of entrepreneurs, and I don't own a business, but I listen to a lot of people who own businesses and whatever. I study it in the theory. One of the things we were talking about is like, she mentioned she was really concerned about enforcing boundaries to a point where she gets like a bad internet review or Yelp review or Google review or something. And to me, that's like super interesting because my boss don't give a fuck. we get we'll get bad reviews sometimes, and I'll see him just type on public websites just saying "grow up, go to McDonald's," and that's hilarious. But just like an attitude, is about giving a fuck. Everyone wants to not give a fuck. Everybody wants to think for themselves and be completely above others' opinions till it's time to fucking not give a single motherfuck about what they're saying. And that's interesting. And attitude's the same way. We all know we should have a good attitude until your attitude starts to fucking deteriorate and until you're getting pissed off and irritated, or at least me. That's how I am. And I have to really rein that shit in. I have to really check myself and be like, dude, I'm acting like a bitch right now. This ain't right. This ain't what I read in the mornings. Let me course correct. And that's interesting. Attitude as the determining factor, which parallels something I always heard from my man Aaron Golden out here on YouTube, where he talks about, blaming contributing factors and attributing things like in his example, Myron Golden is awesome. I love listening to that guy on YouTube. And his books were really good too. What he calls he has polio, or he had polio as a kid, so he always uses that as an example. How he was born with a bum leg. His brothers were all fucking athletes and could do things he couldn't. And he's like, I could use that or race or fucking like what the fuck's the word? Economic status, socioeconomic status. You can use that as a contributing factor or a determining factor. That's fucking sounds like attitude to me. So it's just, again, just in my daily readings and fucking getting this shit in, keeping my mental diet as wholesome as I can. You know, it's all correlated, dude. And that's stuff I try and live out. Stuff I hope to live out at my best. Got to check myself before I fucking wreck myself. And this is what I was talking about with that big dude in the gym yesterday too. We just got to talking about work, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna just plug the YouTube channel in person like that because I don't know, I'm not ready for it yet, I guess. But I'm like, hey, man, I mean, I don't really care. It's not really up to me about if my average customer can bench more than me because I know most of them can't. Most of them are embarrassing fucking physical specimens. Neither here nor there. That doesn't speak to their humanity or nothing. But for me, dude, it's a good life. I wake up and I fucking walk and ponder. I read, I speak, and I fucking go lift weights and go about my business. 23 minutes, way too long today. Anyway, thank you all for fucking hanging out. This has been the Buenas Tardes, good afternoon, Hannas edition of the show on the BS with Hannas YouTube channel. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify podcast, Apple podcast, Amazon Audible podcasts. Heavy blues metal is more of my shit than talking, but, this is more fun. And I can do it on a daily basis, and I enjoy doing it. So fucking hey, one love, cheers. This is I Ain't Stopping, Nicky B. Hannas. Hit it up, heavy blues metal, nickybhannas.com, nickybhannas.bandcamp.com. Nicky B. Hannas on all streaming services. One love, peace. Good timing.